Yeah. So all the kids were having fun.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And it's a celebration to the end of our summer travel season.
Yes.
Travel basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So that now it's Sunday, and here we sit in the dining room studio.
Yes. My son said we were lacking.
We were. It's too busy. Like, we're going to have to figure, like, we might have to have a planned announced hiatus in the summer.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, we probably need to go from, like, now until, I don't know, February or March.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like the old school TV seasons, right? Where you start
May sweeps.
and then we can play reruns all summer. Because we still get listens, we still get downloads all the time. We still get likes to our Facebook page.
Yes. Good.
You know, all that
actually
still
saw
happens.
like the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So all that still happens. People are still listening, wondering
Thank you
where
for
we
listening.
are. Thank you. And if you are wondering where we've been, we've been in a gym. and we're
Yes.
still going to be in gyms, but not as much out of town gyms on the weekends.
I am looking forward to the rest.
I already have. I'm not going to lie.
It is
it's
a
nice.
lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was talking with Fitz today, and he was just like, "Dude, like, you know, you're doing Flag of the United, you're doing FPC. It's like, you know."
Mm-hmm.
Then he's like, "Make sure you go to the doctor, get your checkups." And all.
Right.
That's what he was telling me. I'm like,
Well, and this was my first summer also working with a high school
"Oh,
as well, you know. So it's
And
a lot. Like I've seen you do it before
it's
and
a
thought, "Oh, that's a lot."
but it's fun, right?
It really is. It truly is. It truly is. And so school started, and my daughter had a bumpy first day. And, you know, who was it that made it not bumpy? Her teammates. You know, hooking up with her teammates. And
you tell the kids all the time, if you do it the right way, you start school and you have 12 friends.
right.
Right? Like, I think Anthony's in some kind of group chat, I think, where a bunch of the people from the team are in, and it's like, "Oh, where are you?" And
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
yeah, you know, I'm sure that helps,
Mm-hmm.
right? So.
And then pretty much half the team moved in here for the weekend, which I love, but I have to get a second job to pay for all the groceries.
Yeah, they were rolling deep yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They came through.
Yeah.
And it was good to see them.
So it was good. It was good. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the dining room studio on this fine Sunday afternoon. I'm Sue O'Lear.
And I'm Johnny Hampton.
And this is the Strongly Worded Podcast.
Yeah. I don't even know what we're going to talk about today. We haven't even discussed it.
Well, no, we really haven't. I figured we'd do a little catching up.
Okay.
And we've talked a lot this summer about family. It's on our practice jerseys. It's part of the, what we create with our teams.
It's how we live.
It's how we live. So I figure that'll probably end up being maybe our thread. But we had talked at the beginning of the summer, we were going to come together and record because our summer actually started with a tragedy.
Oh.
We lost a very important member of our basketball family.
Yeah. Damn, we haven't. Yeah. We lost a player to gun violence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the after effects of that are still reverberating throughout our county, throughout the league, throughout Flagler United, throughout the high school that he went to. There is a definite void.
Yep.
And it was, to me, all gun violence is senseless violence. So it's like a senseless act. I wish these kids would put down guns and just fight it out the way we used to.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't do that. And so, yeah, we lost Kimarion Hall to gun violence. And it was among the saddest things I've ever had to go through.
Absolutely.
I think, my son doesn't talk about it a lot. But I think it's very clear he was looking forward to going to high school with him because he's war dependent every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, "Are you going to wear this every day?" And he didn't answer me. Typical Anthony style. But I think he was looking forward to playing basketball with him and just being with him. They had talked about it for a long time because he's known him since he was about 8. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a tough time.
It was.
Fitz had to cancel games for the league that first weekend, and yeah, it was tough.
It was tough. And in a lot of ways, when your dad passed away, we reflected once about, had he not at that time, would our group of friends become the group of friends we became?
Right.
And there are relationships forged, even with myself and, people who were close with Key, some of these girls that we perhaps might not have gotten as close this summer, or had some things happen the way they happened with practice and team chemistry and things like that. Again, had that not happened. So I kind of, maybe it's just a coping mechanism to look for positive things that come out of traumatic events.
I mean, I don't know if it's a coping mechanism. I think in life that you know, all these fancy sayings, right? Like every cloud has a silver lining, all those kind of things. I think when people pass away, their death is not in vain, right? Like, so, yeah, some positive things come from that. And yeah, I believe that. Going back to that, like, I'm not sure. Yeah, when my dad passed away, part of the friendships forged were you guys being there for me when he passed away, right? So, yeah, those things happen.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
I also, I didn't clear this with you ahead of time to bring it up, but there was also part of that experience with his death that was, in my opinion, politicized.
Oh, man, listen. So, I mean, it's a funny thing to live in a small town. It's not something I'm used to, right? Even though I've been here 15 years, I'm from a place where somebody gets shot and nobody notices, right? Like, politicians are not at the funeral.
Right.
And, there was a bunch of school board members there who probably didn't know this guy from,
right,
a hole in the wall. And they're just there to say they were there. And, I had an opportunity to speak at that time. I was one of the first people to speak. His mom asked me to do so. And one of the last things I said was, like, don't just show up here. Do something.
Right. And
that was in May. We're in August. Nothing's been done. So it's not a surprise, right? Like, so they were there just to say they were there. Now one of them is running for re-election. One of them is running for county commissioner. One of them really does try to do stuff from time to time. But it's the bare minimum, right? Like, so this county has no place for these kids to go and do anything. There are no programs. There is nothing. And there's people like us. There's people like Dell we're trying to do stuff, right? And then there's people who have come and left who are opportunists, who just want to milk the county for money and leave.
Correct.
And tell you what the county needs, and then spell the dude's name wrong when he dies.
Right.
There's those people, right? So we got a lot of work to do here. So
I remember the summer of 2020 during the pandemic when we started doing basketball again. And it was tough to do, but and I don't know, on personal levels, some of us got a little pushback about it because the pandemic there was so much fear still. There was a lot unknown, but every now and again I would post a photo of us together and get the,
oh yeah,
and if we didn't, though, what were these kids going to do? Like, what were these kids going to do? And that's kind of how I feel. Not like, what are these kids going to do? We just went through something with my own boys in the last week. And, like, it's just, like, why? It's just frustrating that the most important thing they have going on right now is conflict. Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that way in a town like this.
Right.
Like, I remember during the pandemic, I remember Key and another player, Rock. I remember, like, them Instagramming live. Yeah. And it was, like, in the heat of the pandemic, and they were like, yo, when are we going to play?
Right.
I'm like, dude.
Right.
People are, I don't know. I just don't know. And, yeah, people, they don't have a lot of support for kids or young men in this county.
Right.
And it seems to always be about business and everything's politicized.
Everything's politicized.
It's so, like,
and Palm Coast, however it was founded, however many years ago, whoever the first people were to move here, it's not a retirement community.
they thought it would be. My grandparents were here in '89, and that's what it was sold as. But people follow their families.
Right.
Like, my uncle followed them, bought his kids, and then his ex-wife came because her kids lived there, right? Like, and then my dad came because his whole family was there, and then I came and I bought my young kids. Like, it's not that anymore.
Right.
And if you look at surrounding areas, you can go to Ormond, and they got the Ormond Rec. You can go Port Orange, they got the Y.
That was the biggest thing for me to get over when we moved here, was that there was no YMCA.
I think they had one before I came, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer.
Right. So the only thing they have, basically, is you can go to Carver Gym in Bunnell after school and play until 6 p.m. So that's all they have. And yet the people in Palm Coast think that Bunnell is some kind of war zone.
Right.
Yet they're the only people who are providing something for the kids. It's backwards thinking.
It is.
Yeah, it's backwards thinking.
It is. So that's how we started the summer.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a thread of the summer. We also spent some time on this podcast talking about a lot of political issues. We sort of started as things were ramping up before the last presidential election. And we're in primary season right now, but on the ticket are these school board positions. And I don't remember if we recorded an episode since I spoke at that school board meeting, but this is the most fired up I've ever been about any school board election ever, probably in my entire life.
I wonder if we did. I think we might have.
We might have touched on it.
You talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing with these school board members, I told someone the other day, like, when I vote, right, first and foremost, I'm voting for my family, right? And whoever is the best candidate for my family, that's who's going to get my vote. I am a registered Democrat, but I don't vote Democrat every single time because that's not how my parents taught me. Sorry.
I will say that of recent times, I have voted a straight ticket, but it's the first time in my life. Right.
So, I'm an issues person, right? So, I have a young black son.
Do you?
Yeah, right. Tiara is, she's got her pronouns and she's part of the LGBTQ. I'm looking out for that.
Right.
So what are you going to do for them? Right. And then, me, I can make it. I'm just a straight black male. I'll be okay. But, what are you going to do for my wife if she wants a business loan and women are not getting them? What are these things? And all these people in this county, they're doing it wrong.
All of them.
A lot of them are
But what's happening right now, excuse me, is not unique to our area. We have listeners really from all over the country and surrounding countries. And we could be talking about anywhere USA right now.
I don't know about politics, man. Everything can't be politics. And so this is what I always find funny. And I don't always post these things, but I had it in my mind today, right? All these people who posted about Hillary Clinton's emails, right? Was it a big deal? I'm not savvy enough to know, right? I didn't feel like it was a big deal at the time, but what do I know, right? I don't see none of these people posted about documents found in Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
That's how I know you're about politics. Because to me, your morality is your morality. How you view things is how you view things. They don't change based on if the person's a Democrat or a Republican.
Right.
If they're black or white, if they're male or female. If you're doing it that way, you're doing it wrong.
I mean, look at what's happening to Liz Cheney. She voted with the former president, 93% of the time? But because she said she believed the results of the election, she's out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's nuts.
It makes no sense. So you believe the results of the election when Republicans are losing the popular vote, but still winning. But you don't believe them now. To me, like I said, like I'm not a black and white kind of person when I look at things, but I come from them from a center of, what I've been through, how I lived, and I just, right is right to me and wrong is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't matter who you are. Like, I can easily say, hey, people talk about Biden all the time. Like, I didn't want Biden.
But
Dude, talk about him all you want.
Mm-hmm.
Don't blame me. Blame some of these older people who voted for Biden.
I mean, by the time the primary came around to Florida, he was
done.
already the candidate.
It was done. We had nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and that's the thing. I think for where we live, I think that's the thing I hate the most. Everything is politicized,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is like even in the schools everywhere. Like you look at
where politics and religion, I'm sorry, have no business, and the politics of religion is what's happening right now.
Yeah, and like you can't take things like the coach I work for now. He's got a saying: the standard is the standard. That's how it's got to be in your life. The standard is the standard. So if you have a standard for this Democrat, you got to have that same standard for the Republican. If you have a standard for the male, it got to be for the female. If you have a standard for the white male, it's got to be for. That's how I live. I think that's just how I live. I don't know how other people are doing it. But like I said, I had someone reach out to me to talk about some stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm the one you want to talk to. It's not going to go the way you want.
Right.
Right? Like, so, but yeah, like I said, since I've been in this county, I voted Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I vote for who I think is going to do the best job. So, don't tell me who's endorsed you.
Right. And forgive me, but if I'm not mistaken, school board seats are nonpartisan. Not in this county. Not anymore. And again, I think that one of the reasons why I think that this topic is a good one for the podcast is because it's not just here; it's happening everywhere.
Not anymore.
Like,
that's my thing. Like, I don't care who endorses you. I have a mind of my own.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that thing.
No,
that's a politics thing.
I can imagine that, there are people that are less informed, that, you are the company you keep, right? So it makes, it's easier for them to make a decision. I have only in the last handful of years really started doing a lot of research on the judges.
Yeah. I need to do more research on that stuff. Yeah, I do. But yeah, like we got the primary Tuesday. I haven't voted yet. I gotta go.
Yeah, I voted.
Sometimes I vote early, but I like going on the day.
I do too, but it's been very difficult. Like Joe, I mean, he leaves before.
Yeah.
And comes home late, and the boys said, plan to vote in this one, but they missed early. I vote by mail. I voted by mail and saw yesterday that my vote has been counted.
Nice.
So it's there. And I think that maybe I will encourage the rest of the family to get a mail-in ballot for the next one, because it would just be easier, I think, all around.
Yeah.
The boys wanted somebody to go with them the first time because they haven't ever voted yet.
It's just like taking the test.
I know.
In New York, they had the old machines for a while where you pull the lever and then put it back down. I used to love those things.
Yeah.
Gotta go with the curtains.
I love it. Like a slot machine. Like you can press the buttons on a slot machine, but I still pull the lever because it's cool. Yeah, so we got that going on.
Yeah.
We got that happening here. We're losing our favorite ice cream shop is changing owners this fall.
Yeah, man, that made me sad, but,
Yeah.
I think she mentioned it when she was here, or mentioned it off mic.
Yeah, I think it was offline.
That possibly, a couple of years. Good for her, though.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. She said she's happy with the buyer. But change, man.
I know.
Like, we've had a lot of it.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of it.
They got some good. I had what did I have? Like salted toffee or something? Oh, it was so good.
We'll talk about this, I'm sure, more later, but this particular ice cream shop, Sally's Ice Cream, for those of you who live in the Flagler Beach area, go get yourself some really good ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
part of their kind of passing of the torch party to the new owners is going to be a fundraiser for our basketball, for Flagler United, our basketball organization.
That's going to be nice.
It's pretty exciting. But I thought we should come up with a Sunday or some kind of a treat that, that when they order it, that's the one we get the percentage of.
You're talking to the most non-artistic person.
But I'm not asking you to create it. I'm
I
just
know.
saying.
It sounds like a great idea. Like order this.
Like we need to come up with a basketball name for it, and and the slam dunk or something like that.
Yes. When she says we, she's not talking about me. But my wife will tell you I have no kind of vision when it comes to those kind of things at all.
But it was a fun call to get from Karen. So check out her episode. Continues to be one of our top most downloaded episodes. So thanks for that, Karen.
Hey, listen, she's a
strong woman.
Big reason why Flagler United is where it's at.
Yep.
Right. Like it's a true nonprofit. So big reason.
Yep. For sure. What have you had any time to watch any good TV this summer?
Oh man. So I work from home. So I watch on TV. Like I just have things running in the background. Mm-hmm. So let's see. What's the last good thing I saw? I'm trying to think.
I watched something yesterday.
What'd you watch?
Me. Call on me.
I've got
one.
What'd you watch?
What, that documentary on Netflix about the Hawaiian football player?
Oh, Manti Te'o.
Yes.
The Untold Story. Yeah, that was great.
Oh, it was very good.
Yeah, that was good.
It was very good.
Yeah, I watched that. That was good. What else was on? What else has been on Netflix?
So, for those listeners who might not know what we're talking about, this story was, I don't know if people remember it or not, but back in the early aughts, was it 2009, 2008, 2009?
Yeah, it was in the 2000s.
Yeah. A football player from Hawaii made the decision to go to Notre Dame and play for Notre Dame. And a game on September 12th, 2012, I think it was, before coming out to taking the field to play his game, it was announced that he had lost both his grandmother and his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a story that stole the hearts of America. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This kid, and long story short, it was the girlfriend we later found out didn't exist. He was catfished.
Dude had been catfished in such an elaborate way. Like insane. That's so insane to me.
Yes. So you don't have to care about football to check out this documentary.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And very well done. And both the catfisher and the catfishee were part of it, which was also surprising to me.
Yes, they got the person who catfished him was now a woman, is transgender, mm-hmm. right? Got her to talk about it mm-hmm. in depth.
Yes.
Which was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that kind of thing, obviously if you're catfishing someone, you're looking for some kind of emotional validation that you don't feel like you can receive being your normal self, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's...
At least in this instance.
Right. I would say in most instances, right? Like you don't think you're beautiful enough, or you don't think you're... And I think it's good to hear that side of it,
mm-hmm.
right? To hear her talk about how she felt about him,
mm-hmm.
right? Like the feelings were general. But, once you get down that road...
Right.
And,
genuine.
Yeah, genuine, sorry.
Yeah, but it was, and it was interesting hearing her talk about after the death was announced, like she couldn't quit him.
Right. Yeah.
Because she was very much alive.
Right. Like the normal, she was like, normally they would reach a point and she would just like cut them off.
Mm-hmm.
But she couldn't do it because he was such a great dude.
Right.
Right? Like,
yep.
He was a great dude. Like his family raised him a certain way, and he was a great dude.
And then this affected him not just. It was like so personally damaging to him, to his mind. Like he was not the same after.
Nope.
And it wasn't just like embarrassment or like it. How did they talk about it? Like he couldn't forgive himself for
mm-hmm.
believing it.
Yeah, he talked to. I think he said he talked to a therapist, and
mm-hmm.
he was like, "Have you forgiven yourself?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "What? What do you mean?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I remember them thinking he was in on it,
mm-hmm.
which right away, I don't know why people thought that. I was like, there's no way.
Right.
There's just no way. He wouldn't risk what he was risking.
Yeah.
Right? That guy, without this catfish, would have been probably a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it messed up his future earnings. I mean, he did go on to make
and he never really played the same again. He
Never.
from that playoff game or that championship game on, he never played the same again.
It was never the same.
Mm-mm.
It's sad. It's sad, man. It's a sad thing. Like, so yeah, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what else I've
So check
seen.
it out. And it's a series. There's more.
Yeah, there's another one. And it's one I want to see too. It's called Untold.
Yeah, on Netflix. Check it out.
Yeah, there's another one coming that I want to see. And I thought it was out already, but it wasn't. I was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been watching a lot of stuff. I'm trying to watch this thing called Echoes, but I can't. About two twins who keep switching lives. It's getting boring to me.
I watch things and I get, Hacks. The second season of Hacks came out this summer, and I finished it in a minute.
It got renewed,
so
you
good.
know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it got renewed. It was Hacks is excellent.
That is some of the best writing.
So good.
Hands down. And then there's one that we started watching after that I believe is on Showtime with Molly Shannon. I Love That For You is what it's called. And Molly Shannon is basically this QVC queen. And then the young ingenue comes in and basically gets a gig at the network based on a lie. But it's excellent. I highly recommend. Check it out. I Love That For You. I think it's on Showtime.
Yeah, the last documentary I watched on Showtime is called The Supreme Team. It's about these drug dealers who where I'm from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I watch all kinds of stuff now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too.
But yeah, Hacks is my show.
It's so good. Gene Smart is a
so
national treasure.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her and I don't know the other lady's name, but
I've never seen her in anything else. I think she's done stuff.
Yeah, they're so good.
The entire cast is good. Everybody's good.
And that season finale had me thrown.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, look, it's like, you're never gonna be. I was like, oh man.
So check those out.
Yeah.
Check those out, listeners, and we'll.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
We cannot go through this without saying somebody went to see Top Gun 2. Starring the immortal Tom Cruise.
Oh my gosh, busted. I am busted. I did. I paid money to go see it in the theater, and I enjoyed it.
You know, I have not yet seen it.
You haven't seen
Top
Gun 2?
First of all, people, don't judge me. I just watched Top Gun for the first time like a month ago.
Are you kidding me? I loved Top Gun.
Yeah, I
That's
watched.
before you knew how crazy Tom Cruise was.
It didn't stop you from going to see number 2, though.
No, and I do have to say, they did it right. I mean, I really thought sometimes those sequels are such letdowns. But this one I didn't think was a letdown at all. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, it made a whole bunch of money, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think they were smart. They held on to it, right, for a while until people started going to the movies again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine those special effects being the same watching them at home.
Yeah, they were right.
Them huge.
Yeah, they were right. Yeah, but some people have a healthy appreciation for Tom Cruise already. So
this doesn't change my feelings about Tom Cruise
I know it doesn't.
one bit, but Pete Maverick, I liked him. But it was, the first one I thought was such a good, I haven't seen it in 20 years. But
it holds up.
Yeah.
I just saw it a month ago.
Yeah.
So and I have not seen number 2. I was like, well, I got to see number 2.
Yeah.
So I got to watch this. And it was on, I forget what it was on, but yeah, I watched it and I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
Joe and I last night watched Elvis.
How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. Baz Luhrmann directed it. I enjoyed Moulin Rouge. I enjoyed Romeo and Juliet. I like his sort of spectacle style. It doesn't go real deep, but we know a lot of the real deep. Like, we know all that.
Yeah.
So we could just sit back and enjoy the performances and the music and the way he juxtaposes, modern music and Elvis's music. And it's just really beautifully filmed, I thought. But it's kind of a mile wide and an inch deep. But there probably wasn't a whole lot left for me to learn. My dad was a die-hard Elvis Presley fan. Joe and I danced to an Elvis Presley song at our wedding. Like, it's part of a Bennis family lore. Like my niece had, when my dad passed away, the first thing she did was get a taking care of business tattoo, to honor him. So yeah, so there probably wasn't much left for me to learn about. And this really was as much about his manager as it was about him, really.
I don't know if there's a lot of things to learn about Elvis in general, because the media and tabloids have just, but so there are some people. Now, I don't know a lot about Elvis. Okay, I was talking with Ebony the other day, and I was like, I don't even know if I have a lot of Elvis songs, but I do have Blue Christmas. But
it's a good one.
And she mentioned, you have Blue Christmas. Oh, yes, I do. There's a lot of people, for some reason, who think Elvis was some sort of racist. Now, does that have to do with just him popularizing music?
Probably.
That was before, and just, okay.
Probably.
Because I don't ever, not that I'm not sticking up for Elvis, everybody. I'm just saying, I don't ever remember him saying, I was the originator of this music.
No, I don't think
I think people put that on him, right?
Yeah. And I think more troubling than that is he was probably a bit of a pedophile.
Yeah, that we know.
I think that's the troubling thing, to look back at him through this lens. And I'm sorry, my dad is not happy with me saying that, I'm sure, right now.
But not to cut you off, but
time.
Yes, right? So, time. I think if you look back at I think, there's a lot of people, you got parents went and signed for the marriage. Right. Right? Like, that happened back in them days.
Even today, look at all the parents that were okay with girls hanging out with R. Kelly.
Sheesh. Poor.
So.
He gone, that boy. Yeah. He's such R. Kelly is such a touch point, right? Like, because he is such a bad guy. But his music, like, I maintain, like, I Believe I Can Fly is one of the most inspirational songs probably ever written. It's like, God. Now when you listen to it, you can't listen to it without thinking about the other stuff.
I can't watch an episode of A Different World or The Cosby Show. Or I know we don't have to go down this road.
I need a Different World reboot, man. Let's get Cosby can't stain that. Oh, I did watch that. There was a Cosby documentary.
Oh, there was. We did watch that one.
Yeah, I watched that too, which was crazy.
That was nuts. And the Playboy one also.
I haven't watched it. Was it good?
It was good.
It's on Hulu, right?
I watched it on AMC, I think. But it's probably on Hulu. I mean, I don't. They're all together.
A Different World reboot. That show's perfect for a reboot, man.
Well, certainly somebody's listening that's going to make that happen for you.
They don't want to. I'm sure they've already talked about it, but it was a Bill Cosby thing. But man, you could get, what was his name? Dwayne Wayne. He could be a professor there. Right. Like, God, come on, man. This is money in the bank.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that grownish is like Different World, because it's not.
It's not the same.
No. I need that reboot. Anybody.
Somebody out there. We still have listeners.
We need some listener in LA. We need to get.
That's right.
We need them to get there.
That's right. So yeah, a lot has transpired this summer.
Yeah,
it's gone on.
It's been an interesting summer, man. Like, gas prices are super high.
Gas prices went up.
They're going down now, but everything is high.
I can't believe our grocery bill.
Man, we went shopping for that party, and we went to Sam's Club. Still, like, everything is so expensive now. Like, you can't. I don't understand.
Yep.
So it's.
Yeah, and it's, I commute, Joe commutes.
Yeah, you guys go pretty far too now.
Yeah. So, busy season is slowing down for me now, and Joe as well, I think, which is good. Yeah. It's crazy how my busiest season at work is my busy season in basketball too.
Yeah, they worked y'all hard. Kids missed y'all, man. I'll tell you, America, the kids don't care about Coach Johnny no more.
Sure they do.
They want to know where Coach Sue is at.
Tell you, this summer in particular changed something with me in basketball, for sure. I mean, definitely now like a switch is flipped.
Yeah, I felt like you were more vocal.
Yeah, I'm really digging deep into not just the fitness side of it, but the basketball side of it.
And like I felt, I think at least, working with me, like, you have more opinions on who should start, who should play. We might get something good out of this person today. I talked with this person. I think they're ready. Like you did a lot more of that.
Yeah.
And all that stuff is helpful because
there were players on our boys team last summer, and what were they? 7th graders last summer. The first kid that I ever really had that experience with of really impacting as like the mental health coach was Moots.
Oh, yeah.
And some things that happened last summer and kind of keeping him with us and keeping his brain with us. But yeah, now like I'm listening to books on tape. I'm watching YouTube video, not at work, ever at work. Am I watching a YouTube video? The plays that we're going to be working with the girls on this fall. You can't see America, but there's women's basketball on TV right now over Johnny's shoulder. Like and I have the opportunity to help rebrand and market the high school girls team. And, it's been run by men for a very, very long time.
It's working. It's funny because I saw somebody with a random Futurist female shirt the other day. Like, I don't know where I was at. I was like, oh, look at that. Somebody's wearing that. Yeah, it's working.
All
man.
our shooting shirts are going to say that on the back of across the back. And I find it a very important job and all-consuming job outside of the realm of my actual job, which I still absolutely love and adore. And
my wife will tell you I have 4 jobs.
Yeah.
She'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's going to be good. We have a coaches meeting coming up next weekend, or retreat. We're going to all get together.
Oh, that should be great.
Yeah, and it's going to be a different season. And I heard my daughter played like a beast at practice the other night.
We were in there because we came from the track. The boys team did, and she looked good. But it's not a surprise to me.
No,
right? Like so.
But I told her like now that standard has been set. Like I think she too. Lots of the girls, but I came to a point where it was time to take a step forward to progress. And I think some of the girls definitely did that this summer. And the thing when you do that is you can't go back.
Right. My dad used to say like there comes a point where, especially as a basketball player, like you got to decide if this is for you and if you're going to go get it. Right. Like so. And some kids, it happens early. Like, I think for Anthony, it happened early, except running on a track. And I won't mention that on the podcast. He would really get mad. But, I think for some kids, it happens early. For some kids, it happens later. Youth basketball, I find every year is such an interesting thing, right? I just like to coach, right? Like the rest of the junk that comes with it, I don't really like. I don't really feel like there's a place for it, right? That's just how I am, and people like me for it, so I'm not going to change, right? So, but yeah, like once you've set a standard, that's the standard, right? So once you've started to do things normally, then you got to keep doing those things. Yep. And then you have to expand on those things.
That's right. Then you got to look for the next thing.
Right. Like I used to tell my son all the time, okay, so you're one of the best 6th graders. Are you going to be one of the best 7th? Are you going to be one of the best 8th? Are you going to be one of the best 9th? Yep. And you got to continually do that. And that's the only way.
And, we had some conversations early in the summer, especially after Key's death with the girls, about why they play.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And, similar reasons, but not all the same reasons. And not very many of them are reasons like I want to go to the WNBA. It's a touchstone between them and a brother, or them and a parent, or it's where they go work things out, where they let go of the stresses. And man, these kids have so many things to stress them out. So many things to stress them out. And sometimes, practice is the best part of their day. It's where they go channel all that, get rid of it, deal with it, cope with it, whatever. So when it's going well, it's great. And when it's not going well, the best part of their day is not going well.
Right.
So it's, we never thought in this family that I would end up being the one that is basketball obsessed.
Surprise. Yeah. You never know where life could take you, right? So, you never know.
You never know. But this isn't a basketball podcast.
or a politics.
Or yeah.
It really
It
is
really.
a Tom Cruise podcast.
Oh, good God. I have not seen The Last Samurai.
I don't understand it. That's wait a minute. Now you're bringing me out of my joke now. That's a good movie, man.
Well,
Joe hasn't seen it, right?
I don't think
I
so.
swear to God, I'm having him over my house. I'm gonna lure him with some beers and put on the line.
You're speaking his love language.
Exactly. Hey man, I got a cooler full of Coors. You don't come watch this Last Samurai.
Well, we were just before you came over putting together our new TV stand over there because we got a new TV this summer.
I saw you post about chores and I was like, well, what the got my man doing?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I ordered this new TV stand and it's been sitting in the box, leaned up against the wall for a few weeks because we were busy. So he said he'd put it together for me. So it's all now set up and ready for a viewing, I guess, of The Last Samurai. We have college football in just 2 short weeks.
Yeah. I mean, your blue should be good again. Yeah,
Hope so. But it's just it's just another mark in the passage of time. The summer went by in a blink. It went by in a blink for so many things to have happened and so much to have gone on in our lives and locally and in the world. Yeah, we had a Supreme Court decision come down that life altering that really ramped up my feminism, I guess.
Yeah. All that stuff happened in the span of really 3 months.
3 months. 3 months. Do you think anything is going to come of all this documents at Mar-a-Lago?
No, I don't know if they're indicting him or what. Like, I don't think he was. I don't think he took those things home nefariously. Like, I don't know what he was going to do with them. I just think he took some. I don't even know if he.
Then why didn't he just give him back?
I have no clue. I don't know what goes on in that guy's mind.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if they did that to arrest him or just to get their crap back.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I'd like to know that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if anything is going to come of it, because I've only followed it loosely, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, they raided. Oh, this is why they raided. Okay, makes sense. You were talking about an email server. Look at this. Look at this guy. So, like,
I get most of my news about it from memes on Facebook. So
there are a lot of political experts on Facebook, like,
of course.
I mean, they
didn't pass history class, but
I mean, the Brittany Griner thing is a touchstone for me.
That's
like,
it. Yep, there's one.
I see a lot of people talking about that. It's like, oh, she should have been. She's in Russia. You believe, like, you actually believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
So listen, this woman has been playing in Russia how many years?
12.
I mean, so all of a sudden she doesn't know the rules.
Right.
Right as they're going to war with Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna believe some communist country. Why would I do that?
Correct.
But clearly other people do. Then they're not,
I mean, she exercised her right to free speech here in this country, and she protested, I believe, during the national anthem.
Yeah, I've
so
seen
that
meme.
makes her somehow deserving of this fate.
Yeah, I've seen that meme. Where, like, she protested, so now we can't go get it. Like, that meme is so stupid to me. Like, it's just a dumb meme. Like, so you live in a country, you can never complain about the country.
I don't really get all my news from memes.
I know that. I know. But I've seen that particular.
Yes.
No, but I've seen
No,
that
no.
particular
Yeah.
one like multiple
Just
times.
saying.
Yeah, that one I've seen like 20 times. And
yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
No.
So you live in a country, you can't complain about it. So that means
we live in a country where one of the freedoms that all of these people have fought for before us is the exact right to speak our mind, to
Right.
have free speech, to
Right.
protest.
And so for me, I always wonder, so that means if you're in a marriage, it's not going well, you just don't say shit. Because you could just leave.
Right.
Right? Why complain about it? Just leave.
Right.
Or for me as a basketball coach, if you don't like the way I'm coaching, you could just leave. No one does that.
Right.
They all complain. Like, so what are we talking about?
Exactly.
Everyone has the right to say what they want to say. And I don't respond to all those kind of things, but it does inform me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, oh, look at this person. Come on, guys.
Yep.
So, yeah. Everybody from Facebook is an expert on Russia and classified documents and
COVID.
Yeah, COVID and
and thank goodness they are. What would we have to talk about on the Strongly Worded podcast?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We are. I mean, I guess we're starting off again, right?
Yes. We're gonna try to get here every Sunday.
We're gonna do this every Sunday. We're gonna release on Wednesdays. We are, I think, going ahead and just planning now that this is our season from now until basketball ramps up again.
Yeah, until Sue says we're not.
Right. When we start having to do travel ball again, then that'll be the end of our season, and we'll take the summer off, and then we'll play our reruns. And so it is okay to get attached to us again. We are back.
Yes.
We are back. And I'm sure no shortage of strongly worded topics at our fingertips.
Of course.
People be crazy.
Yeah. Midterm elections and elections bring out the crazy in people.
They sure do.
And so does basketball.
Sure.
It does. Hey, listen, man. I love it. I love every parent. I really do. I love them all. But damn it, yes, it will bring. Yeah. So
a lot of stories about that. And our babies are both in high school.
Yes.
So we are navigating that. I had to let mine. I didn't have to, but I let mine get in a car with her friends and go to a football game Friday night.
Yeah, but those are seniors, though.
Have you seen the way some of them drive?
No, I have not. I have not. That's hilarious.
But yeah, so there'll be a lot, I'm sure, to talk about.
Yeah, I saw them at the football game. Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, it's gonna be a. I think it's gonna be a good 4 years. So. Yeah.
And certainly there'll be stories.
My wife is looking forward to it.
Yeah.
She's really looking forward to it.
She has a countdown clock.
Yeah, no, but she's looking forward to watching both of them play, though.
Yeah.
Like before the countdown.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That is going to be fun.
So.
It's going to, and I tell you, in closing, I don't know how to go back. I don't know how I'll ever be able to go back to watching basketball from the stands. I mean, the best seat in the house is right there on the floor, so Yeah, it's interesting. You'll never watch basketball the same, though. No.
You'll always watch it as a coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't turn it off. So.
Switch flipped. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you can find us on Instagram at the Strongly Worded Pod. You can find us on TikTok, and I'm probably going to try to pull something together to promote this little episode on the TikTok at the Strongly Worded Pod, or on Twitter. I haven't tweeted.
We haven't tweeted in a while. But we got a tweet for the midterm elections.
We'll tweet.
The strong Joe's favorite.
The strongly worded piece. I think, too, we should probably, in time for the holidays, revamp some of our merch on our website. Maybe I'll freshen some of that up, because who doesn't want an Urban Black Man t-shirt under the tree this year? I know I do. This was fun.
Shout out to Aaron.
I know. Just middle-aged white women doesn't have the same ring, so... If you could come up with something different for me to put on a shirt, that'd be cool.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, we wiped the dust literally off our microphones for today.
Yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
We'll see you next Sunday. Thanks for listening. Carolyn was singing that to the girls.
This Strongly Worded podcast is written and produced by Johnny Hampton and Sue O'Lear. Music production and vocals by Marshall Max LaMont Hamilton, and cover art by Samantha Shakes.